Barbara, and I live in Clinton Hill, Brooklyn, New York. My age is 72, October 1st. Thank you. My life as a gay woman, lesbian woman, started in 1969. I had this attitude about loving myself, doing things for myself. Everything needed to be about me and my intentions to make my life better, and loving it because I'm me. So in 1969, I came to New York. I loved the time that I was born. I loved the fact that I became an adult because I checked with my mother. I asked Mommy, am I grown? She always said to me, do everything I say until you're grown. Well, once I checked in and she said yes, I said, will you take me to the train station? And she said, when? I said, now? So I got my little yellow steamer trunk. It was canary yellow, it was so pretty. I was on my way here in this great city to live my life the way I know I would find happiness and structure that would support everything that I could enjoy. So I'm here. I don't know what my lifestyle is yet. I'm not sure about it, because before I left, I kissed my best friend's sister because she kissed me. But I didn't know anything. I just always thought that she was fabulous because of her dress style and the way she walked down the street had a lot of pride in it. She literally held her head high. And I was fascinated and very intrigued by that. So after that kiss, it stunned me. I went inside, looked in the mirror. My mother. Everyone grew up Baptist, but I didn't want a title to say that this is the umbrella in which I'm living from. So I never claimed anything. My mother didn't like it, but there was nothing that she could do about that. So I owned it in silence. I went to this woman's house, and because I didn't turn into a devil with horns hanging from my teeth, as my mother said, God would do that if you did these things and lived your life with these kind of people. That's what anybody that was gay would call those kind of people, or bulldagger, or faggot, or anything that sounded awful. And to me, those terms, they were very bad. So I decided if I leave the area, find what I'm looking for, because I know it exists. I know it exists. I'd seen Mary Tyler Moore on a Dick Van Dyke show. And because she was a woman and had a job, something called an apartment where she lived, I'm like, oh my God, she's a woman and she's not crying and saying that she needs money, or she feels helpless, or she's waiting for the man or the husband or whoever it would be, that would be a male person, to come along, because this is what I saw as I was growing up. And I vowed to myself that I would never be like that, in need of anything from anybody. So I'm here now, and I get here doing the disco era. This guy that lived in Syracuse, David Mancuso, started something called the disco era in his loft on Bleecker and Broadway in New York City. And I got here just in time to be a part of that era. It's in the web, it's in books, and to be a part of something that was delightful, because I was so happy. I got here, I had $600, my lovely steamer trunk that was canary yellow, a small TV, and just opportunity in my own mind to find a job find a job that's going to send you to school, send you to college, pay for it, because you know this kind of stuff exists. You just have to find it. And I did. I was so excited with myself about all of my choices. I still have my card from David Mancuso's loft. If you remember anybody called the Village People, there was an Indian, a construction worker, I think a policeman, and somebody else. But they all were in costumes defining who they were. So during the week, I went to thrift shops to find my costume for who I was going to be come Friday night. And that was the beginning of my happiness, and now I just have to stay confined with finding a job that would give me what I need to be who I want to be. I hadn't decided yet if I was going to be a lesbian. I didn't know. But I knew I started looking at women and I saw them in a different manner than just a woman. They were beautiful women to me. They were exciting. They were sexual looking. I could feel the feeling of what it must feel like. I didn't know yet, but I was anxious to find out. My first sexual occurrence started and became a reality from David Mancuso's loft. You would just find anybody because you're happy and you're dancing. And you were very close, you were very personalized with almost anybody. And you definitely lived to go home with someone. And that was, when the evening was over, it always ended on a certain song. And the lights started to come on very slowly to be bright. And you knew that it was time to go home. You grab yourself a balloon and look around, make eye contact, and leave with somebody. You don't even have to know their name. And end up in sexual activities that were as exciting as anything I can imagine in my own mind and theirs. So there were no limits. I enjoyed that part because it was like lessons learned, and I enjoyed them all. So during the 80s, at the peak of the AIDS epidemic, all of my friends were male. Everybody. These were my true friends. One friend in particular, his name is Louis. He's deceased, of course, because he had AIDS, but he did not tell me. And I was hurt because he didn't tell me when I wanted him to really know in the most defining way that you know that you can trust me, that's why we're friends. And as friends, I'm dedicated to you, and you're definitely dedicated to me. So why are you hiding your truth from me? I don't question you, I just love you. And Louis, I'm still sad in my heart that you didn't tell me, Barbara, I have AIDS and I'm scared. Because I wanted to do everything and anything I could do for you other than give you money. I never looked for you to give it back, even though you said, may I borrow? I willfully gave you anything you asked for. And I can't save you. That makes me very sad. Everybody is dying. You and everyone I love. I don't know why it's just you and all the other guys. I don't know why. I feel like I want to cry. He was just, I didn't have to explain anything, he didn't have to explain anything. That's why it hurt me when he didn't tell me or say, I'm sick, and I don't know why, if he didn't know it was AIDS, because there were a lot of names for it at that time. And everybody was trying, everybody, that media and the world, medically, was trying to define what this outbreak is going to be called. We just know that it affects gay men. How did it get here, and why does it stay? That's what I know about AIDS. Because I lost my friends, all of them. Being lesbian is something that I own proudly. I've never felt as though I needed to hide who I am, because I was always very willful about, I made a decision, and once I make a decision, I'm living in it. Defining myself as lesbian, I always said gay. I still interchange and say gay, lesbian, because gay was the first word I ever heard that defined anything to do with what was abnormal as it was defined to me. But I owned it, still own it, and being a senior, as I am, it feels easier to talk about what my life is and what I'm doing. Easier than earlier years, but I was always determined to structure just myself for myself, not anybody else. So I'm loving being Barbara, the lesbian.